Guys, my name is Dianivette. I'm here with Trina, one of the X-ray techs here at the Orlando VA Medical Center. I don't know how to flip the camera.
I don't know either.
All right.
You could edit it, right? It's sliding again. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So Trina, what is your current job title or position, and how long have you been in this role?
Currently, I've been at the VA going on 2 years. This coming June will be 2 years, so a year and a half. Prior to that, I was a teacher for 16 years at Valencia. And prior to that, I was a staff technologist at a level 1 trauma center in the community, as well as a big ortho clinic. So total 21 years.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's been a long time.
Okay. And what degree or training do you have in this profession? How long did it take you to complete your degree/training?
I graduated from Valencia in 1996 with my AS degree. So it was a 2-year program. There's 2 years prior prereqs that you have to do before you get accepted to the program. So it's almost like 4 years involved in doing an X-ray AS degree. Once you're in the program, it takes you a little bit longer to do the program, because program is all core classes, and it's really hard to do like your English and your humanities and your comps and all of that while you're in the program. You have to have all that done before you get in the program. So it's almost 4 years to do the AS degree. Currently, I'm working on my bachelor's degree, and that's another additional 2 years.
Okay. I'm actually in the AS program now. Like, I'm working on it. I know it's not even on here, but I wanted to know, like...
Yeah, good question. Good.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going with this.
So you're taking your prereq stuff
Yeah.
in, but you haven't been accepted to the X-ray program.
No.
Yeah.
For that, like...
Well, however long it takes you to do your prerequisites
Uh-huh.
to then apply to the X-ray program, that's however long it takes you to do that. And then you apply to the X-ray program, and if you have all of your stuff done and in a row, they give you points based on, okay, you've got all your anatomy and physiology and all of your English comp and all your humanities and all your math credentials are met. Then they give you points towards that. And then they rate you on a scale of GPA and points and what you've been able to do outside the program, and then they tally up your points and see where you fall. They pick 20 students for each program, maybe 25.
Wow.
So it's a very limited seating. So they have seating for 25. It just depends on the year. And their volume fluctuates based on the need in the community. So Valencia has a great partnership with the community, where the community tells Valencia what they can handle, or there's statistics out there of who graduated and who's working, so that they know what the community needs. So most of the time they'll start with 25, and then there's always that attrition rate where people figure out in the first couple of months or maybe the first semester, this isn't for me and I don't really want to do this, and they leave. I think typically they graduate somewhere, when I worked there for 16 years, we graduated somewhere between 16 and say 20 students at a time.
Wow.
Somewhere in between there. Most of the time the average would be 18 to 19 students out of the initial 25.
Okay. How did you land in this position? Describe your career and educational path to this current job.
Well, I told you a little bit already that I'm taught at Valencia for 16 years, and part of my teaching jobs and my duties was doing clinical site rotations with the students in their clinical field, and I went to pretty much every clinical site that Valencia has an affiliation with over the 16 years. The VA was one of my sites that I rotated through, so I've known the staff here for a very long time, had a great relationship with them, and with them building the new hospital, I made it known to them that I wanted to come on and work. So that's kind of how I pathwayed in here. It took me quite a while to get here. Getting a government job is not easy by any stretch of the word, so it took a while to get here.
All right, and next question. What do you enjoy most about your job and least?
I love this job. I love doing X-ray. X-ray is super creative. It is super fast-paced. I like that the patients come to us We work with them on an intense kind of level. We provide the services that other people in the hospital, like emergency room or pulmonary or just primary care physicians, need. So we support the entire hospital with all their imaging, and then the patient gets to go away. We don't have that long-term relationship like a nursing staff would have. So for me, I didn't want to be a nurse because I wasn't into the long-term care, but I like the quick come and go, and then it's always different. So it's always a challenge to work with every patient. Every patient is different. What I like least, there really isn't a whole lot that I don't like about the job. I think here at the VA and opening this brand new hospital, the frustration that we have here is we don't have enough staff on board yet. So we've had 2 years of really working a lot of overtime and being very busy, very hectic, and not being fully staffed. That's difficult with patients and the volume of patients that we have. But other than that, there really isn't much of a drawback. I like the blood and guts and gore and ooky stuff. I'm okay with that.
What advice do you have for students who are interested in pursuing this career?
I would say volunteer a little bit. Decide before you invest the time and energy to get all the way into the program. And then you figure out that, you have to do what to a patient. You have to see what, you have to be involved in what.
Mm-hmm.
And then then you're backing out going, I've wasted 2 years of my life. Volunteer, come in, work with patients, follow an x-ray tech, ask questions. Do you have to see that? Do you have to touch that? Do you have to be involved with that? Those are probably the most important things. Know what you're getting into. X-ray is a very high tech. It's technology based and technology oriented. So yes, it's an X-ray, and X-ray hasn't changed over the last 100 and however many years. But technology has. So if you're not into technology and upgrading technology and constantly changing technology, which I know your generation is all about, then this is not the place for you. But that's what it's based on, and so you have to stay current and constantly moving forward in technology, which is another great aspect of why the job is fun.
Mm-hmm. What made you pick this career?
I didn't really pick the career. I went back to college in my 30s. I had a biology degree and wasn't using it. Was working in retail and not too happy doing that. Not making very much money. Decided to go back to college and see if I could find another degree that would make me more lucrative and more hireable in what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was be a wildlife biologist, and those doors weren't opening for me in my early 20s, late 20s. So I went back to school in my mid-30s, early 30s. I was 32 when I went back to college in X-ray. And I just started taking classes, and it kind of came to that, these are options, and I took the classes and I applied to the program and I got in the first time around. And getting here, it was a little bit, daunting because I didn't do the research. I didn't really know. I knew what an X-ray tech was, but I didn't know really what all it involved. But as I got into it, it was really interesting. So I just kind of grew into it. It kind of picked me.
Do you regret at any time choosing this career rather than anything else?
No, not at all. My first love was wildlife biology. That's where I would be doing if I had my choice. But this is so dynamic and so changing so much that you have to stay current, you have to stay educated, and it's never the same day, and it's never a dull moment. So you are entering a real dynamic field, and that part of it is awesome. And I even found that when I taught, it was always different. So I was doing something different every day, and I know that was what I needed to be doing in my career.
All right, and last question, why the VA rather than any other hospital?
The patient here is totally different than the public sector. We provide a service for a group of men and women that have served their country. They have been willing to lay down their lives for this country.